Today's October 18th. I weigh 212 pounds, and we just got back from Orlando and St. Augustine yesterday evening. And I just wanted to talk about that trip a little bit and work it into a discussion about resiliency and courage, because all of us had to come up with some courage and some resiliency on that trip. And so I wanted to look at how each of us handled some of those situations. So you guys remember when I got a notification from PayPal that they suspended my account, and it really made me scared. And you saw how I reacted. At first, I was very angry and short with everyone. I was very closed off emotionally and just trying not to display any emotions whatsoever. And inside, I was sick to my stomach. I could barely eat anything, as you guys recall. And that's usually how I handle things that make me scared or anxious or stressed. And if you'll recall, the situation resolved itself later that night. I timed it, and it actually only took 4 hours from the time I got the message to the time it was fixed. And I also learned why PayPal did that in the first place. So I know how to avoid that issue ever happening again. So I learned something incredibly important for my business through that experience, even though it was incredibly hard for me. And I just wanted to sit there and cry. And I was praying to God most of that time. And so it just reaffirmed to me that God wants to take care of me. He knows who I am personally. And he's just trying to help me build resiliency and courage. So the next opportunity that any of us had, actually prior to that, you guys remember at SeaWorld, Katrina, you were terrified of going on that ride. You did cry, and you just didn't want to go. You were flat out refusing, and we made you. We essentially gave you no other option than to get on that ride and face your fear. And it was a real fear. You were scared that something bad was going to happen, whatever that may have been. Yet you got on the ride and you screamed your head off, but you got on that ride and you went all the way through and you had a good time. So you learned something about yourself on that experience. You will be faced, all of us will be faced with hard, difficult things that we perceive as hard or difficult. It may not even seem like anything to someone else, but ourselves, the way we perceive those opportunities matters a lot. And how we get through them also matters a lot. It takes a great deal of courage to do things that scare you and that you're afraid of. And importantly, doing things with calculated risks. So you know the potential risks involved when you go into a situation as much as you can. And the way you get through it will teach you something about yourself and about life that you would never have learned any other way. And we've all experienced those things in our own way. And that's how you build resiliency. And resiliency and courage are incredibly important for you as you get older. When me and mom are not there to help you make decisions on important things in life, like who you should get married to, where you should live, what you should do for work, how you should live your life, how you should treat other people. Those are incredibly important personal decisions that only you can make, but God wants to help you make them with courage and love and a lot of mental resiliency. And that's why he's giving you experiences as you're growing up to see what it's like to work through a problem and come out the other side just fine. And you'll notice that happening over and over and over again in different ways, as long as you are willing to pay attention to them and look at them as opportunities for growth versus just scary things that you don't want to do.